Hey everyone, I'm Leah. I'm a flamenco and classical guitar teacher at Lesson Face. Today I'll be teaching you an easy fingerstyle song called Starfall. You'll probably be able to learn it even if you're a brand new beginner, so please do try. Just listen carefully to the instructions I give you about which fingers to use so you can start building good habits from the very beginning. First, you'll need to know how we refer to the right hand fingers when you're playing classical, fingerstyle, and flamenco guitar. We use letters to refer to each right hand finger. So P means the thumb, I is index, M is middle, A is ring. We're not going to worry about the letter for the pinky today because we only use that in very specific flamenco techniques. So just memorize these four for now. P, thumb, I, index, M, middle, A, ring. In Starfall, you're only going to be using the ring, middle, and index to play the strings. So A, M, and I are going to be really important. But it's also important where you place the thumb, or P. So go ahead and place your thumb on string 6 for now. Really, you can place it on strings 4, 5, or 6, so just keep that in mind. But for this exercise, we're going to do kind of a preparatory exercise for this song. And for this exercise, place your thumb on string 6. And go ahead and prepare your ring finger on string 1, middle finger on string 2, and index finger on string 3. So A is on string 1, M string 2, I string 3. And again, P or thumb is on the 6th string. Now try this. You're going to play string 1 with your ring finger, play string 2 with your middle, and string 3 with your index. And if you can do that, your right hand is basically all ready to play this song. Let's try it together. We're going to repeat it nice and slowly first. A, M, I. A, M, I. A, M, I. And now let's take it a little faster. If you can do that, you're all set with the right hand. Now you're going to need to know how we refer to the left hand fingers. The left hand fingers get numbers. The thumb doesn't get a number because, at least in classical guitar, where these numbers come from, the thumb is always behind the fretboard. We never use it to press down the strings. So the first finger that gets a number is your index finger. That's 1, middle is 2, ring is 3, pinky is 4. Now Starfall is not a very hard song, but it does move up and down the fretboard a lot. So it's really extra important that you remember your left hand finger numbers because I'm going to be referring to which one to use where. That's important as you start to develop a sense of positions on the guitar. As guitarists, we like to stay in one position when we can. The positions are, so if you have your first finger on the first fret, second finger on the second, third finger on the third, fourth finger on the fourth, you kind of assign your fingers there while you're playing a melody, and that makes it a lot easier to find where you are. And then sometimes you'll be in second position, which means that your first finger's on the second fret, second finger on the third, and so on. Other times you'll be in fourth, other times you'll be in fifth, and all the way up the neck. So whenever possible, we try and stay in a position while we play. And when we move positions, we try and make sure, first of all, that there's a good reason to move, that we're not just like sliding our finger up because we didn't actually think the fingering through. And then the second thing we need to think about is how are we going to change positions? Because we want to change positions as gracefully as possible. All right, now you're ready. Starfall starts out in 5th position. And it's actually going to start out with your third finger of the left hand. Remember, numbers are for the left hand. It's going to start out with your third finger on string 1, fret 7. So go ahead and prepare your third finger on fret 7 and go ahead and play the right hand pattern that we learned at the very beginning. Remember, you take your pick whether you want to rest your thumb on string 4, 5, or 6. I'm going to rest it on string 4 and I'm going to play A, M, I. You can play that a few more times, get used to it, remember the pattern if you want. A, M, I, string 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, so just recall what you just did, putting the third finger on string 1, fret 7, and play ring, middle, index. Now put your first finger on fret 5. And then put your third finger back on fret 7. Next step, open first string. So really all 3 open strings. So if you can play that twice, like I just did, that's the first line of the song. Now you're going to want to hop your first finger down, back to fret 2, so down to fret 2. And what position are you in now? If you've got your first finger on the 2nd fret, you're in 2nd position. So we'll start off in 2nd position, and then we'll shift up and I'll tell you how. So with your first finger on string 1, fret 2, go ahead and play your right hand pattern, your right hand arpeggio it's called. Now put your 2nd finger on fret 3. Now your pinky on string 5. So you're still in position 2. We haven't changed yet. Now we're going to change. Now slide your pinky up to fret 8. And now you're in the same position you started at. You're in position 5. And you're going to end this little phrase with your starting measure or your starting phrase. 7, 5, 7, 0. All right, let's go ahead and play the first half of Starfall, the first 2 lines together, nice and slow. Start with your 3rd finger on string 1, fret 7. Ready, and... We're going to go on to line 3. We're starting to learn the second half of Starfall. And you're going to start the second half by going all the way up to string 1, fret 12. Put your 3rd finger on string 1, fret 12. And your first finger, a hint of what's to come, if your first finger is going to play fret 10 right after. So you're in 10th position. Remember, that's defined by wherever your first finger would be playing. All right, so put your right hand thumb on one of the bass strings. And put your 3rd finger on string 1, fret 12, and play your right hand arpeggio, A-M-I. And now put your first finger on fret 10, back to 12, and now we have to leave position 10 just for a second, hop down with your finger 1 to fret 7. That's barely a position change because we're going right back to fret 12. We're going to repeat that idea. 12, 10, 12, hop down to 7. So that's the 3rd line of Starfall. Let's do it together once. 12, 10, 12, 7. Repeat. 12, 7. Now moving on, you just ended on fret 7. Now slide down to fret 5. You're going to end this song in 5th position, right where you started. First, you're going to play your arpeggio with your first finger on fret 5. Then put your 4th finger, pinky, on fret 8. 3rd finger, fret 7. 1st finger, fret 5. And then repeat the very same phrase that you started the song with. 7, 5, 7, open. One thing that's important when you're learning this song and any song is don't try and speed it up too fast. Play it slowly until you feel comfortable with it, until you're using the correct fingers with your left hand, until you're sure that you're always using A-M-I, never repeating a finger without knowing it or by accident, and that the position changes are always smooth and graceful. When you've got that, then you're ready to take it a little bit faster. So you don't want to take it really fast all at once. Just try a little bit faster. So we can do it this time at 3 and 4 and